All right, ladies and gentlemen, so it's time to give you another update. This is going to become probably like a monthly thing, an update on the boycott that's happening for Genshin Impact. Now, this particular boycott, I believe, if correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that it's officially ended. I think they've pretty much given up after losing twice in a row, right? This is the most insane boycott that I've ever seen in my entire life because their idea of boycotting this game is to continue playing it, which never made any sense to me. Well, apparently, now they're realizing just how futile all of it was because Genshin Impact's revenue for the last month has increased again by 8% over the last 10% increase in spite of the boycott.
I'm rich, bitch!
Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, the boycott for Hoyoverse had to be one of the most pathetic boycotts that I've ever seen in my entire life. These people have no idea what it means to actually try to boycott something. They thought they were going to do something by continuing to give Genshin Impact money, time, and everything. They thought that was really going to become a thing, which just goes to show how absolutely stupid these people really are. So let's get into this article, guys, from That Part Place. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. Now, again, characters like this is what is setting these people off in flames. You know what I mean? It's because the characters aren't black enough. That's really what it is. You might think I'm being facetious, but I'm not. It's simply because the characters are not dark enough, and that's why they're losing their mind, right? They believe that these characters are an actual representation of the real indigenous cultures. They don't understand that Chinese people have made a fake character, a fake race, a fake everything, and they're trying to apply real indigenous people to it. So because they view these as real indigenous people, they think that they should be dark brown or black or whatever, as long as it's darker than white, right? These are the absolute insane notions that these people have. It says revenue for Hoyoverse Genshin Impact increased over 8% in August compared to July, in spite of the active boycott against the game and developer. Now, the reason why I think it's over or almost over is because I'm pretty sure I saw a couple of tweets from the people who are in charge of the boycott, essentially admitting that they're like nothing's happening, right? Like Hoyoverse is ignoring them. This is basically it. Like, they don't think anything's going to happen. And even though they're going to try to continue to make a noise, ultimately they're pretty much giving up on the idea that anything is going to happen. Now, you should give up. You should stop. And the reason why you should stop is because you can't even stop playing the game. How are you going to boycott the fucking company if you cannot even stop playing the game that the company has made? It's insane. The reason why they don't want to stop playing the game is because they know they're going to be the only ones who actually stop. They're not going to be able to convince anybody in mass to stop playing Genshin Impact or Zenless Zone Zero. They're not going to be able to stop them, and they don't want to feel like they miss out, right? They don't want to actually stick to their guns for like a month or two and try to make an impact here. They rather just keep playing and hope that their word is going to be enough, but it's not. It never is. You guys are the modern audience, and we have seen what you are capable of, right? RIP Concord. We know that you're not the majority. You're not even close to the majority. You're a minority of the minority. And so when you say something, nobody takes you seriously anymore. When you threaten people, nobody cares anymore because they realize just how small and how powerless you actually are. It says that a boycott of Genshin Impact and Hoyoverse was launched back in July with a petition titled Stop Cultural Appropriation and Whitewashing in Mihoyo Games. That's never going to happen, okay? Again, it's not whitewashing if it's made by fucking Chinese people. This is the problem. You guys are so racist that you view Chinese and Asian people as white adjacent. And the reason why you view them as white adjacent is because they don't believe in your oppression minority kind of fucking narrative. They don't believe in that, right? I never met a single fucking Asian that walks around and says, oh, I'm oppressed. I've never met one. Never even seen one online. You know what they're doing? They're too busy studying. They're too busy holding themselves accountable. Their culture is based around accountability. And if you're not one of the top, you disappoint family, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, get the fuck out if you're not the top of the top. You need to get up there and be successful. So yeah, the culture is totally different, and they're not worried about fucking oppression Olympics like these losers are, right? So if you're looking for a way to try to oppress push Asians, you're not really going to do it. It's going to be very difficult. But even with that being said, they still view them as white adjacent because of that, which is why they're claiming racism, which is why they're claiming whitewashing in a game made by fucking Asians. It's ridiculous. Next, it declares cultural appropriation and whitewashing perpetuate harmful stereotypes and diminish the rich cultural heritage of indigenous communities. Now, here's the thing. So, if this is harmful stereotypes, right? If all the characters suddenly became black, is the stereotypes now magically fixed because they're black? Or are you wanting to see black characters in harmful stereotypes, right? Because right now you're only complaining about the skin color. After you got your wish, let's say they made all the characters black, then what? Then what's the next harmful stereotype that you want to see changed? And then before you know it, nobody gives a fuck. Nobody cares. People will be leaving the game because they see what's happening, right? Hoyoverse knows exactly what they're doing. They're not fucking stupid like you are. And they're going to keep advertising their game to people who actually play the game. And Asians, a lot of Asians like character designs like what you see in Hoyoverse and what you see in multiple animes and what you see in multiple video games that are coming from Japan and China, whatnot. They don't care about your bullshit representation. They're too focused on being creative, being very cutesy with some of the female characters, focusing on the artwork, making it colorful. They don't give a fuck about how many black characters are in the game. If they want to add a dark-skinned character, guess what? They will, because they have in the past, and they will continue to do so. Japanese more than Chinese, I would say, but still, how are you going to tell another country what they can or cannot do with their entertainment based on how you view things in your fucking country? That is some narcissistic bullshit, and that just goes to show how insane you guys actually are. You think the entire world revolves around you? You guys are losers. What do you really think you're going to be able to do? You're going to be able to do absolutely nothing. You can't even show up for the games that you say you want to support. You're too busy playing the racist games. Isn't that amazing? These are the people who would scream for diversity, equity, and inclusion, but then when video games come out, they give them exactly that. They're nowhere to be found. They're too busy playing the video games that are actually fun that don't have diversity, equity, and inclusion. What kind of irony is that? You'd rather play Genshin Impact than play Concord. Why is that? Gee, I wonder. Then it says next, it declares cultural appropriation and whitewashing and perpetuate the... Oh, I already read that. It then issues a list of demands. This was the funniest thing, by the way. MiHoYo is to do the following, as if they mean anything. Engage with indigenous cultural consultants. This is why I think it was an extortion. This is a failed extortion attempt from DEI consultancy firms. Because if that's the first thing that you're requesting, that makes it really obvious. Revise existing content to ensure accurate representation. Commit to creating diverse and inclusive characters. Even if they did that, you'd be nowhere to be found. It's just a case. Well, let's put it like this. Even if they did that, it wouldn't even matter because they're going to lose actual real players and you would stick around, sure, but you're not worth the hundreds of players they'll lose per one of you, right? It's probably more than that. The thousands of players per one of you, right? You don't mean anything. That's what bugs me the most. You guys really think you mean something and you mean fuck all. And here's the hilarious thing. They realize that they don't have to do anything in order to have you keep giving them money. You are so stupid. You kept playing this game during the boycott, and you really thought that they were going to somehow give in to your demands. You're just unbelievably retarded. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I will greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.